All right, another episode of Twins Debate coming up on this show. Of course, we're just going to debate the different topics of me and Darren, just lashing out our opinions and thoughts on the latest headlines of the debates. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. That's coming up next. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Another edition of Twins Debate. Welcome to this portion of the episode. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Daryl. Say hello to Darren watching the opposite side.
Yep, I'm here. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. How you feeling so far, Darren? You good?
Always.
All right. We're glad to bring back another edition of Twins Debate. So you ready to rock this one?
Always.
All right. We got work to do. Let's do this, pimp.
Let's do it.
All right, man.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Twins Debate, here we go. Of course, it's been in the headlines, it's been trending, and it's been one of the most, I should say, the most craziest business deals that I've ever seen in my entire life of watching and following NBA news and headlines. So with that being said, Paul George. As we all know, from all around the world, from local to all around the world, Paul George has decided that he wants no longer to be part of the Indiana Pacers. So I think we already got a preview of what Darren thinks about it. So that right there is going to be a big major deal here. So, of course, he wants to opt out after the 2018 at the end of the season.
He should just opt out now and be done with it.
I agree, but I don't think it ain't going to work like that for whatever reason that may be. So.
Spare me.
I know. So that being said, numerous of NBA teams has been interested in him in so many far aspects of wanting to trade him away for different teams and stuff like that. And last night's draft was supposed to be, well, the fans assumed that it would be the trigger point that the Pacers get to say goodbye to Paul George, but it didn't happen. So, Darren, with that being said, with this whole ordeal with the Paul George situation and, you know, everything else that surrounds this whole situation with Paul George, how do you feel, besides you applauding, that really put the icing on the cake on edge? How do you really feel about this, you know, ordeal with Paul George wanting to opt out of the Pacers and, you know, and that he no longer wants to be with the Pacers organization? As he said that he wanted to be long-term because he wants to win. So how do you feel about that?
I'm not upset. I can tell you that. I'm not upset. I'm not disappointed. In fact, I would hope that you would go to another team and actually do better. But my only issue is that this man, he's just overrated. He's overrated as an NBA player, to me personally. He's very overrated. He had a 25-point lead, game 3. Was it game 3?
Games 3 or 4.
Game
3.
It might have been game 3. Yeah, game 3. Yeah, 25-point lead, and you let it slip. Now, I'm not blaming Paul George individually as one person. I blame the whole team, but he was a big help to that, just unnecessarily making shot selections that he had no business making to try to create contact. If you wanted to create contact, you are not Reggie Miller. Take your butt to the to the paint and do what you got to do there.
Right.
But even at that, you knew that the NBA was going to favor in Cleveland's way to win anyway. So you was better off at least just trying to do something to make it better for yourself. Paul George, to me personally, again, is very overrated. I am not a fan of him. He had his chance to shine. I put my faith in him throughout the 4 games of the Cleveland Cavaliers series just this past season. I put my faith and trust in him to say, hey, you know what? He might be able to do something. This would be his time to shine, and he didn't shine. He only stunk. I'm not big on him anymore as far as I know. Hopefully the gentleman that they just drafted in the NBA draft could give more better of a contribution than what Paul George has done.
I think the gentleman you're talking about there, I think it's TJ McLeaf or something like that. If I have that right. I might have got the last name wrong, but I know the first name is TJ.
Well, it might be McLeaf.
No, it's not. It's TJ Leaf. Sorry. It's
okay.
TJ Leaf.
Well, even at that, I'm not a fan of him. I'm just not. If I'm going to, actually go about trying to, say some positive things about him, this is the only thing I could say that's really positive about Paul George. He was a better player when they had your traditional lineup. Wade Hibbert, David West, Paul George himself, Lance Stevenson, and George Hill.
Real leadership, David West. Real
yeah,
leadership. That
was, to me, I think that's where Paul George really played at his best, when they went 55-25, when they had that traditional lineup. When they got to the speedy lineup, it was just a disaster, heading straight for a disaster. So I'm not really a big fan of him now. So I'm hoping that he will leave. I would like for him to actually just go ahead and just leave now. In my honest opinion, I would really love for him to leave. Try to get a big trade benefit off of that to be able to go ahead and take it. But I would have hoped that the other night's drafts would have really kicked that. But you could have had more draft picks. You could have picked more young, speedy people, because Larry Bird was that one and wanted to go with the speedy traditional, not traditional. Yeah, but Kevin Pritchard, now that he's back in that position, he'll probably want to go back to the traditional role. So he might want to get a big man in there and get a big power forward in there, and get that small forward, get back to that traditional lineup. I mean, to me, that's how you play basketball. Just me personally. It's just me personally. That's how you play basketball. But I could be wrong. But
yeah, everybody has a different way of playing basketball. So that's traditionally, I think, is the best way of doing it.
I love playing traditional.
Absolutely.
Love playing traditional.
So, yeah, here's my thing about this. There are totally 3,000.2986419428% agree with you with this whole Paul George ordeal.
Yeah.
Now, my thing is with this is now, since, the traditional lineups have left, Roy Hibbert, David West, Lance Stevenson for about 2-3 years, and George Hill. Since they have left, he has become what everybody would say a distraction. A lot of people may not agree with me when I say that, but he has become a major distraction because it's like you said there, he's overrated, for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
He don't have the skills to lead a team to, championship runs or nothing like that. He's wildly inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
And you put a man like that and you lead him on a team like that and say, yeah, this is Paul George's team. Yeah, it is. Okay. At the time, it was. Now it's not. It was Paul George's team when he was committed to Indiana. Now that you want to opt out to it, now you have become a major distraction.
Yep.
And I feel now that they have to hurry up and dispose of him before the situation gets worse.
Yep.
It would be nice for them to actually dispose of him at the opening of training camp. But what are the odds of that happening? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not 100% sure. But I know now for a fact that the minute that Paul George has said that he had opted out and he no longer wants a part of being with the Pacers, I don't want to be cruel when I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. And I'm not saying this to be evil or anything like that. He prefers that he plays with the Lakers. Now, Kevin Pritchard has said he has to do what's best for the organization. Now, since you said that, let me be Kevin Pritchard here for a minute. The minute that Paul George has said that he prefers to play for the Lakers, nope. I am shipping your ass some damn where else that's going to benefit us, not you. Okay? Let's get that straight right now. You are not going to sit up here and tell us who you prefer to play for while you still under contract with the Indiana Pacers. Damn it, you blew that opportunity when you said you wanted to opt out in 2018. Now we're going to trade you. We're going to ship you some damn where else.
Yeah.
So that means, let's just say, for my fantasy thought, let's just say if we could get James Harden for Paul George. This is fantasy, okay? This is not real. This is just fantasy.
You got that right. Boy, you got that right.
Well, it's just a fantasy because this is the best way I feel that it could be a fair trade.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion. So if we could get James Harden, I'll tell you, yo, you are going to Houston. Point blank, period. When your contract is officially up, then you do what you want. Because at that point, Pritchard should make him suffer every minute of the way while he is still on contract with the Pacers. Point blank, period. That's just me. Not being, belligerent or being evil about it.
You got a point.
But the problem is that when you say something and when you feel that you want to be committed to a team, you just threw that opportunity out the window when you decided you wanted to opt out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you prefer that you want to play for the Lakers. Nah, it don't work like that, homie. I understand that this is a business ordeal, but now you just put yourself in a predicament to say, oh, yeah, I want to play here and I want to play here. Nah, Negro, it don't work like that. Take your ass to Houston. That's exactly where I'm going to put you. Take your ass to Minnesota. That's exactly where I'm going to put you. Take your ass to Portland. That's where I might send you. I'm going to send you somewhere other than L.A.
You might get a good benefit out of Philadelphia.
Exactly. You have to do what's best for the business. You have to do what's best for the Indiana Pacers, not Paul George.
I agree.
Period.
That's
just how I feel about it.
That's
agree. Just not fair for you to do that and say that and then deliver a low blow and a punch to the gut when you say that. That's not cool.
Yeah.
And you think that you are an elite superstar that you can actually lead the Lakers to, something big? You can. You can send them to the playoffs like you did the Pacers and then get shipped out the first round. That's just me.
Well, you can get sent to the playoffs all you want to. You can lead a team to the playoffs, but you can't lead a team to a playoff with 93 bad passes of turnovers, 56 loose balls of turnovers, and then 39% of miscellaneous turnovers. You can't do that.
That can't be good. That can't be good.
You can't do that. No. Then as a shooting for each of the three positions that he played, shooting guard, 17% shooting. Really?
Wildly
you call
inconsistent.
73% as a small forward, 10% as a power forward. And again, power forward, I'm not going to blame him. I blame Bird on that one. Now that I do blame, I blame Bird on that one. But that is not excusable if you call yourself a superstar. You are nowhere near a superstar status.
I agree.
Nowhere near.
You're not even worth it. You know what? Yeah, go ahead, go to the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? But do that when your contract is up. Do that when your contract is up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to send you somewhere that's going to benefit us.
Yeah.
This ain't about you, pimp. May 2nd, whole nother ball game. that's your day.
Yep.
That's your day.
Mm-hmm.
So any other day outside of May 2nd ain't your day.
Nope.
Business-wise, it's the Pacers' day, not yours. So
Yep.
take your crap. Take your, I want to play for the Lakers. Well, I prefer to play for the Lakers. I'm opted out into July 2018. Roll all that crap in the ball and shove it straight up your candy ass.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Do that because this is ridiculous. There's no way in the world that he should be able to go anywhere he wants and the Pacers can't benefit from it.
Exactly.
No, it's not going to work out there. You got a point.
And
it's
OKC
not,
lost out on that. OKC had lost out on that. When Kevin Durant had signed with the Warriors, they lost out on good deals and trades and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not necessarily OKC's fault that happened. It was Durant's because, of course, well, not necessarily his fault either, but this contract was up.
Yeah.
Well, he was at the end of his contract and decided that he was going to go ahead and opt out. Now, if they had known something earlier, then maybe, it could be OKC's fault. But we don't know nothing about that. We can't get deeper into that because, number one, we don't live in OKC, and plus they're not going to give out big, information and stuff like that. So it's just a matter of, since Paul George has said that, now it's time to play hardball.
Yep.
It's time to play hardball.
Yep.
So, and at this point there was something that Pritchard had also said that kind of caught my attention. Patience right now is needed when it comes down to Paul George and trying to trade him. Do you agree with that?
That depends on who he's talking to. Who is he talking to in that particular comment? Is he directing that towards Paul George, or is he pertaining that to the fans?
The media and the fans, I believe it was.
Okay, so if he's pertaining that to the media and the fans, it don't matter.
Like I said, because of the fact that the fans and the media thought that draft night was going to be the time that they actually got themselves a decent draft pick and then sent George away somewhere.
I mean, it's absolutely true that patience is required. Yeah. It's required, but it don't matter on the behalf of the fans and the media. Who cares? It ain't gonna matter to y'all because y'all not the one that's actually sitting up in there making that type of money to actually make these ordeals and different decisions like that. The whole ordeal is that Paul George is going to have to be patient and not cause another distraction that he already done caused.
I just feel right now that he just need to go. They should have went ahead and just shipped him out and try to make the best trade possible. But of course, it is always said, patience. That's something that's going to be needed in this aspect. And that was just a sincere low blow that he did that. And I felt that at this point that if he's actually going to do something
what did I say the last podcast? I said the last podcast, usually somebody that come out and say they committed are the ones that usually is not. Exactly. And the ones that don't say nothing is usually the ones that are. And I pinpointed that just straight to the point. When we have found out that he said he was committed, I'm like, I don't know about that. Because usually the ones that say it, usually it's not. Because
they're probably the ones that second-guessing themselves.
Yep, they are the ones second-guessing themselves. Yep.
They are the ones second-guessing themselves, and they feel at this point that they really can't do much. But now he needs to start to realize that, hey, dude, you need to look at yourself in the mirror. You need to ask yourself, are you really that elite? First of all, you ain't no Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant has said when he signed with Golden State, look at the numbers. I'm just there to help him. And me and you had said it way earlier. I think it was last year when the season had started. I think it was July of last year. We even put blogs out there. We even did a podcast on it. He will be an addition to the Warriors. He will up their points per game, maybe rebounds per game and stuff like that. He'll up that. But we felt at that point that he may not have, that he probably wasn't going to get a championship out of them because of the inconsistency as a team. Mm-hmm. But, hey, that's all been proven wrong. But Kevin Durant was right. He did actually what he had to do. He did help boost up the numbers. And not only that, he did bring a championship back to
Yep.
So, are you that elite? Are you going to go to another team and actually help their stats? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Or make them better around you.
And see, that's what something that Magic Johnson said when he traded D'Angelo Williams to Brooklyn. He needed somebody that's actually going to help them make them better.
Magic Johnson made the 80s Lakers look fantastic.
Exactly. And I feel at this point, if Paul George is going to go to the Lakers, who is he going to help make himself better? He didn't make nobody else better with the Pacers. Monte Ellis still stunk. Jeff Teague, he was
in and out.
Better than he was in and out. He was, as a matter of fact, he was a lot better with the Hawks than he was with the Pacers. Mm-hmm. So that didn't work. Thaddeus Young, he was more of a contributor, but
he didn't have help.
He didn't have help. Exactly. Paul George wasn't doing nothing. So what are you really proving here? What are you proving when you're trying to go to another team and help rebuild? To me, he has to get bigger, he has to get stronger, and he has to quit complaining, quit being belittled about stupid situations, stupid fouls, worthless fouls that he felt that he should have gotten. And you need to get up and play ball. Shaq will tell you that. That man's 7'1", dang near almost 300, 400 pounds. That was fouling him left and right. And in the end of the result, he had 3 championships with the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see him fussing complaining about fouls.
Because he expected them.
Exactly.
He expected it.
You're an elite superstar. You're supposed to expect it. So what are you going with this? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, man. If I continue to rant on, I'm going to rant on forever.
Yeah,
this
you will.
It's going to be a 3.5 hour podcast. Let me stop.
Oh, yeah.
Let me stop.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In the meantime, Darren, you got anything else you want to add to this? We go ahead and get up on out of here.
Absolutely not.
All right. That is the end of Twins Debate. If you like what you see, you get a video a thumbs up. How you feel about today's show, you can just comment on the comment section below. As usual, you can also comment on Twitter. You can also comment on Facebook. And like I said earlier, just YouTube. You can comment however, whenever. We're here. But in the meantime, thank you for tuning in. I'm Durham. Darren on the opposite side.
Yeah.
All right. Catch up with us on another episode of Twins Debate. Until then,
ciao.
Double Take Sports Talk here with me, Daryl Watts. As many of you know, me and Darren enjoy talking sports and giving out stats, but we also enjoy entertaining while doing it. So with that being said, you can check us out on the social media side and get more involved in our podcast. We're on Twitter at DTST2414, or you like us on Facebook, Double Take Sports Talk page at The Watch Brothers. We're also on YouTube. Like, share, do what you got to do with that. Once again, we don't mind. Also, we are finally back on the podcast app for audio-only purposes for those who enjoy audio-only of our podcast. We're also on the blog, feature critical thinking and analysis, and you can check that out at doubletakesportstalk.blogspot.com. Thanks again.